Hi, morning everybody. As promised, I am posting a video now based on the poll that we took a couple of days ago on Facebook about some of the topics that you guys would want me to cover. And there were a few topics that were mooted, namely how to raise finance for title splitting projects, how to source title splitting projects itself, and how can you find some of these. The other topics that was mooted on the poll was the process of buying bigger projects for title splitting on auctions, and what is it that you have to think about when you're doing so. And the last one was one of our other guys that commented and added a new section, which was case studies and deal analysis. So these are the kind of the four things that were put out for poll. And the main one that everybody voted on that they wanted to know more about was how to raise finance. So in the video now, you'll hear me talk about really the 5 key ways of raising finance that I follow, and I coach people also of how to do it. So let's get to it and look at what are the options available to us. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 key financing strategies that I employ when it comes to buying projects for title splitting. So in this video, I will cover these 5 main items. So cash, using my own cash to buy things. Second is using investor finance. Third one, we'll talk about buy with delayed completion. Then we go to, I'll explain the brand bridging finance. And lastly, talk about how you could also do it or the more convoluted way with buy-to-let mortgages as well, depending on some of the products that lenders offer. So we'll take each one at a time, and I'll walk you through some of the examples of financing. So, as we all know here, engaging in title splitting of bigger and larger properties to create smaller multiple units is a bit more complex than your traditional vanilla buy-to-let. So here you are having to think through the logic of your purchase, the price that you're paying, the amount of works that you're going to carry out, and what you'll end up having at the end, where hopefully multiple units worth individually more than what they were worth when they were in one freehold. So because of all of that complexity and the people that are involved and the amount of time and effort that's involved in it, financing these larger purchases with a view of breaking them into smaller chunks can be more complex, and it is one that some lenders don't want to engage in at all, because I think either they lack the experience, or quite frankly they don't want to get involved in lending on a unit which is then going to be broken down in multiple pieces that then might cause that original unit to be worth less if the works are not done properly, the value of it goes down, etc., etc. So you can understand from a lender's perspective why the hesitance is there. So how do you do it though? That's all well and good. Some lenders don't want to do it, but how do I buy, and how should you be thinking about financing these projects? So first of all, I guess the main one that I would always advocate, if you can, and again this is the massive caveat here, if you've got the money there to do it, always use cash. So if you've got the cash that's sitting in your bank or in your company's bank to be reinvested, this is your first and foremost place to go. Sounds obvious, but sometimes the obvious needs to be said. So this is what I do. I would tend to look for projects where I can buy them outright using my own cash, purely because A, it's easier. 2, there's no restriction on my ability then to change the title deeds to then split the units in multiple pieces. Obviously, making sure that planning and stuff like that are observed, because otherwise you won't be able to remortgage and refinance or even sell those units anyway. And also the good thing with using your own cash, there is no lender consent. There's no lender that will then tell you what you can and can't do, and quite frankly, you save a lot on survey fees, valuation fees that you would have had to pay otherwise. So, cash is always, as they say, king. If you've got it, definitely this is one of the first and foremost way of being more effective and more profitable when you're engaging in title splitting.